remember the outside of your house.
My house was white.
I don't remember seeing a white house. I probably only remember the inside of your house.
Don't move it for a second. Yeah.
Wow.
Bad luck.
First time I heard of it. I wonder if she made that up.
I doubt it.
Well, you're older than that,
We had a buddy next door had a pet lamb, and we did a concert up there, and I was in the concert, you know, a bunch of people, you know, and they had Aunt Martha's sheep, and we got a loan of this little lamb by that long. We went on the stage with it, and we sung Aunt Martha's sheep, and we brought actually my wife was her aunt. That's who taught of it. And she got the little lamb up on the stage. The place was full of people, you know, the hall, and the lamb started to bawl, you know, cry, you know, bad, you know, because he was away from his. Well, you know, he saw it, but he was away from his mother, you know. Well, by the time we finished the song, he was at him making a boo on the floor.
Pooped.
Pooped on the floor. Yeah.
Okay. Jake, can you get in close to Jim a little bit more? There you go.
I'm not sure how to react to that. I'm not sure how to react to that information.
You don't know how to react
to that information, to hearing about the lamb bawling at the concert.
You don't know whether to laugh at it or not?
Well,
yeah,
it's one of those things. You're a great. I suppose she's a great aunt. My wife, your great aunt taught up.
Your great aunt Anne was quite the character. Let me tell you.
You know, she taught that up. She's put this concert together, and a bunch of people, you know, singing and different things. But she got this sheep off of this guy, or this lamb off of this guy. It was a pet lamb. He used to feed it with a bottle.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I know how.
Yeah, and
I just don't understand how to react to it.
Well, it was fun. You know, we didn't get no fun out of it because we had to practice so often. We didn't get no laugh out of it. The bunch was in the concert, but the people that was in the audience got a laugh out of it. They never expected it. A lamb to come out on the stage, lamb about this hallway, you know. Yeah.
Okay, now first you gotta ask Jim his full name and when he was born and where he was born, all that stuff. But you can start, and I'm going to tell you when to start because I gotta get a little bit closer and a little bit further away at the same time. Okay, all right, and we're starting.
Okay, so Jim, what's your full name?
James Michael Kennedy.
Okay. Okay then.
Yeah.
Where were you born?
You know where I was born.
Oh yeah. Forgot for a minute there.
Pardon?
Gotta ask when too.
I thought you were born near Trepassey, but not in Trepassey for a minute there.
In Trepassey.
Forgot for a minute. Okay. When were you born?
December 6th, 1928. A long time ago.
Long time ago. Very long time ago. Okay. When you were my age, so when you were 11, did you have any jobs around your house?
Yes. Yeah. We had to, see, that time we had no water, no running water. We had to bring the water in buckets to the house, you know. And there was 9 of us in the family. And a lot of them were younger than me. So I more or less had the job even when I was, how old are you now?
11.
Yeah, well I was a little bit older. I was about 12, 13 I suppose when I started bringing water to the house, you know, in buckets from the well, you know. See, we had no storage system or no water that time because you couldn't get no plastic hose. It wasn't even heard of, you know. And very poor off. Our living I'd say it was 90% of our living, we grew it ourselves, what we lived on. In other words, lettuce, turnips, carrots, beet, and you name it, you know, I mean, in vegetable, you know, cabbage, all this stuff. And on top of that, we fished, you know, catfish, right?
Well, yeah, I can picture that.
Yeah. And, well, I didn't at your age, but when I was 14,
Okay.
I went fishing, yeah, in a dory.
Okay.
With my Uncle Vince Malloy. He was my mother's brother. And we got 80 quintals of fish that summer. And that wasn't very much. But I ended up with $250 for the year.
Wow.
That was a fun lot of money then, you know.
Yeah.
So,
For a fair amount of money now.
yes, but at that time, you had to depend on that for the house of kids. It was only me working, and Ed, and my father, strict with us. See? So we had to support nine altogether, right?
Okay.
Well, there was 11 altogether, but there was 9 children, right?
Yeah.
You should ask Jim if he had to do any of the farm work, like.
Did you?
Farm work, and we had 4 seasons for different. Now you have a season to go on holidays, and season to do this, and season to do that. We had 4 seasons because in the winter, no, I was starting the spring. In the spring, you go in the woods with an axe, no saws, because we couldn't afford them, but we got an axe. You know? So you go in, you cut down a lot of wood, pile of wood in the spring of the year, yeah? In the woods, which would be about 2.5 miles, 2 miles in, and then we come out, and we had 2 cows with bells on them, because we used to let them out, free them out in the country, out in the woods, and that's the only way we could find them. When we go look for them in the evening stores, my mother could milk them. You know, that's the milk we had. That's all the milk we had, and that was called cow hunting. I was always your age. I used to go cow hunting. You know, and in the meantime, my father and Ed, not only were they just as they were finished spring var, you know, cutting this wood we call it, you know, for let it dry. That's what it was called spring. We'd leave it for the summer, right? You know, for the fall it would dry. You know? Yeah. Then we'd tackle the trap. The contract used to be, it's like everything else, had to be repaired. So we'd bring it out in another meadow just by the house, and he used to have Sherman there, and we were there with him, and he used to mend the holes in the trap. That used to take just about a month, you know. So by the time that was done, it was ready to go fishing. But we had to make sure that all the manure was out. You know, that's manure with the cows and shit. Yeah. For planting all the different vegetables. Fertilizer. Yeah, that was our fertilizer. We used to plant all them different vegetables, I told you, you know. And one year my father tried it and it worked. He grew coffee. You don't believe that, do you? But he did. No, I didn't. He got it in a book, he found it in a book, and he got the seed, the coffee seed. Well, when you get it, it looks like a parsnip when we pull it up out of the ground. But he had to put it in the oven and cook it till it got right brown. And then my mother had a little grinder, you know, a little small, and she used to rub it, and when it fall down into the dish, it'd be just right fine coffee. But we all liked it, but I never did find out why he never tried it anymore. It worked, I mean, but I never found out why he never went out of that, the second year, you know. Mm. But there was always something. Then we go fishing. Now in the meantime, I was cow hunting, looking for the cows at your age, you know. And there's no hang up. There's no such thing as a day off. You know, you will work all the time. And then you go somewhere probably like St. Chats was one place we'd go. And we'd go there for the summer to catch what fish we could, you know. Because there's no fish up where we lived. We had to go down there. That was 15 miles. We had to walk down there, you know. after the boat be brought down, you know, the boat would go down in the ocean.
Yeah.
But we used to walk, you know, when we had to come home, we had to walk. Yeah. No cars, yeah. And I did that for a couple of years. Then I didn't finish it. Then I was going to tell you about the 4 seasons. Now, the summer season was fishing. Let me see, fishing, cow hunting when you get home, anytime you get home. So his mother come into the cows, and cutting up wood for her, you know, for the burn, you know.
Yeah.
All we had was an axe, so we had to go up the wood. And in other words, if I went through it all, so many things, you were fully working all the time.
Okay.
In the summer. In the summer. The fall it came, and we'd all knock off fishing. First thing you got to do, let's go get in the meadows and start cutting the hay, you know, with an old saw edge, you know what I mean? You never saw one, did you?
No, but
Well, you heard them.
sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And that's what we used to, we had to cut that and then get it up and dry it, you know, and put it away for the cows and the sheep, you know, for the winter.
Yeah.
And then we'd, what's another thing we had to do? We had to trench the potatoes, because what I mean by that is, you make a bed of potatoes, and when we come home, they'd be up about, you know, this high, and we'd put more clay on top, you know, we just call it trench, you know. So there was no such thing as a holiday. The 4 seasons was fully full out.
Okay.
Try to keep up with everything, you know, because we had a large family, 9 children, a lot of children,
Yes, it
you know,
is.
and a lot of them was younger than me, see, you know. But now, Aid was older and Regina, but she was a girl, we didn't expect her to go in the woods, you know.
Yeah.
But me and Aid, and my father he wasn't feeling very well, but we didn't know it, but he only lived till he was 61, you know, and he had something on his heart or something.
Okay.
So he worked hard. I think that's what killed him. He really worked himself to death, you know. He worked, you know. He'd be so tired in the evening when he come home, he'd just fall on the couch, you know. That's trying to keep everything going, like I told you about. Sitting potatoes, that's a lot of work. Digging up ground, you know. We didn't, but we got a plough and a horse to pull it for it to tear up the soil after we got it 2, 3 or 4 years. I suppose I was about 20. I was 18 then, I suppose. Yeah, 18. We got a plough.
So did you go to school?
Oh yes. No, I'm ahead of the story. I went to school till I was 14,
Okay.
and he came to me and he said, "I'm sorry, but I got to take you out of school."
Okay.
I said, "Okay." That time you law to get out of school, you know. The 1-room schoolhouse, there was 40 children in there, and approximately, let's say, what, I suppose for 15 girls and about probably 20, 25 boys, you know, or vice versa. You know, roughly, I don't know, but I know it was about almost even. There was 1-room schoolhouse, and see, so that was it. So that's we had all our grades in that, you know. And we had a teacher, if you did it wrong, she had a piece of board about that long, not board, a stick, a man made it for her, you know, and it was about that thick, about that long. And if you did it, you know, say if you did something, torment someone, made someone cry, she'd come down and whack you right on the shoulder or there, and she'd make you put out your hands, for she could hit your hand with the piece of board, with that big piece of plank. Yeah, I mean, that was some hard, you know, but we had to do it. That was it. And some fellas used to put out their hands, and just as she come down, he'd hold her hand away, and she'd nearly fall on the floor. I'll tell you, when he held his hand out the second time, he didn't hold it away. He used to almost turn blue. She'd hit it so hard, you know.
Did you get hit?
Yeah. That's true. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So anyway, we, I got out, like I told you, I got out of school when I was in grade 7, you know, going from grade 7. And he said, he didn't want to take me out, but he said, like, we're not able to keep everything going because we had no money and we had to grow and have a cow and have sheep to kill in the fall of the year and have a cow to kill. So all of them had to be fed, you know. They had to be sheared. That's another thing. We had to shear the sheep in the spring of the year, you know.
Using clippers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my mother used to do all the cooking, but we used to have, the only thing we used to run out of was stuff that you had to buy. Like
Oil?
sometimes you run out, we never, well yes, we used to have a drop of oil for a lamp, kerosene oil, you know. My father used to manage to get enough money to buy a drum of that for the whole year, you know. And we also had to buy like flour. We couldn't grow a flour, so we buy a sack of flour or two. Well, a sack. We used to manage to buy that much, you know. But we didn't buy it. We went to a merchant. There's always a couple of merchants, and you get it in the spring of the year when you're going fishing, and he'd give it to you on credit. And the name it was, the name they had on it was the crap. Everybody go for the crap. That was the name. They just, I don't know who put the name on it. But you say, I'm going for my crap, are you going today? You know, what the crap meant butter, flour,
Yeah.
sugar, tea, that, you know. And he'd give it to you. But you had to sign your name at the bottom when you take it, on the condition, whatever fish you got, when you were selling in the fall of the year, the first thing come out of it, even if it took all the money you made, was the stuff you bought that spring. You get me? So that was hard work, you know, like fishing and then drawing on the beach, splitting, you know, and salt, and I always had that too, you know. And like I told you, I mean, we had no, what you call, pleasure or holidays. We didn't know what a holiday. The only time I knew about holidays when I was probably about 12, 13, you know. I knew because we were too young to go in the woods then, you know. So you get a probably scattered day then, you know. And we never used to wear nothing on our feet in the summertime because we couldn't afford to buy summer shoes. So we run around our bare feet, 9 of us. No, not 9 of us now. There was 7 of us. The other fellows were in the woods and everything. They had to have some kind of boots.
Yeah, but there probably wasn't a lot of broken glass.
Pardon?
There probably wasn't a lot of broken glass on there.
Oh my gosh, no glass at all. I was, let me see, how old was I? I must have been your age when I see the first tin. You know a tin of milk? You know, the tins of milk. First time I see a tin of milk. You know, we never had anything like that. We couldn't afford it, and even if it was there, you know. But nobody had anything, you know. And a couple of fellas died up there while we were at that. They died, and everybody said they died with the hunger, you know. Great big men, one great big man, I knew him, you know. They say he died with the hunger. He ate potatoes for 3 weeks, nothing else, that's all he had to eat, potatoes, you know. So times were really, really bad, you know. But then again, for some reason, we managed, you know. And our house is full of children, you know, 9 children, you know. And we kept ourselves warm with the wood, that's all the heat, there was heat. And the water, you gave 1 bath a year, well we used to call it a bath, or you could call it now. When the month of August came, you go down below our house, there's water, salt water, and there was only so much water. You walk right out to this, you know, and swim around, all around, bring the soap with you. So 1 bath a year, unless your mother, my mother had a sawed off barrel, wooden barrel. She used to fill that with water. and give us a wash, wash out every bit of it, you know what I mean? All over. Until we got 17 or 18, then we had to do it ourselves, 16, 17. And well, the only batch of it, that's what we call a bat, as they have now, was that one. Because you're right, you're on your own in the water, see? It was warm enough to go out there then in August, right?
Yeah.
So that was your bat. Once a year. But we were never dirty because she used to keep us clean with this big tub, wooden tub. She used to fill up with warm water, right? And then she'd put us into that if you were small enough. If you were big, she'd put something on the floor and wash you all down every bit,